All right, this makes me sad. I posted a video earlier today stating that the city of Franklin partially corrected the repair that they failed to do the first time. And then a friend comes out and rubs my nose in it. And he points out, if you look at this picture, I'll put it down, that this part is really deep in a ditch. This part's not very deep. And you can see that that corresponds to the area. The deep spot corresponds to this area, which wasn't repaired. They shoved a little gravel on it, a touch, a little tiny bit, and they put some gravel on the spot that, you know, it's better than nothing. But the area, which was the deepest and the wettest, that area, they didn't do squat. They put a little gravel down, they made a show of the process, but they didn't do anything. Because if you come up real close, you see that right there? That's dirt, that's mud. There's not a touch, a snitch, a bit of gravel on it. And then when you look at some of the other areas, same thing. So they didn't fix the worst part of the process. Now I have to take partial responsibility for it. I assumed, and that's on me, I made an assumption that the people doing the repair would actually know what they're doing. And why did I think that? Given that they screwed up the first time when they installed the whole thing, I should have known better. I should have been here. They should have notified me and said, hey, we're gonna come out and put the 3 yards of gravel down on it. I don't think they did 3 yards of gravel. I'm looking at it now going, nah, I don't think so. 3 yards of gravel is a lot of gravel. I would have stood here and said, well, what about this part? And they would have probably said, well, we were told 3 yards of gravel. Well, no one told you to do a terrible job, to repeat history from 18 months ago. If you can't do the job, tell your supervisor, hey, boss, we can't do the job. Or have an adult come out and look at it and go, nah, you didn't do your job. I mean, look at how thin, if there's any gravel at all, here, there's no gravel. And this is the worst spot. Oh, Lordy. You know, the city just wears me out. They claim to be good at what they do. Department of Public Works is just an amazing, amazing department. But this is the third time they've screwed up. Well, actually, they've screwed up twice. This won't last. This is nonsense. This is absolute nonsense. So my friend said, you need to let them know they didn't do a good job. Well, hopefully the video I just posted today will, to any reasonable human being, let them understand they did a bad job. But that means I'm dealing with people who can understand. And there's no evidence so far that they understand. So I will post this. And I will say I'm very disappointed. The ditch still exists. They put little, if no, gravel there. The area that wasn't major problem, it's got gravel. Not much gravel. I'm trying to look and see if I see, oh yeah, there's still dirt showing here, right there. That's old. Over here, no gravel. So they came in and frankly did a slipshod job. And that's too bad. I would have expected with the second try that they would have done a better job. And you know, I assumed that they could do what they were supposed to do. Shame on me. I shouldn't have done that. They have had no evidence that they could do the job correctly, and I assumed they could. So is it my fault? Is it their fault? Well, it's probably my fault because I made a terrible decision to think they could do the job based upon the fact that they couldn't do it right the first time. Well, they've just reaffirmed that they couldn't do it right the second time. And now I'm not so sure they actually put 3 yards of gravel down. They might have put 3 inches of gravel here, but not all over the place. I mean, you can tell that there's little to no fresh gravel on the edge. I should have expected them to not be able to do it well. I should have expected to repair it, said something like to repair to level like the old driveway or something like that. But actually, I should have said there should have been an adult watching the process. The adult should have signed off on the work and taken some photographs. But realize I'm dealing with the Department of Public Works, a department that has no accountability, as far as I can tell, to the work they do for tax-paying citizens in the city of Franklin, Wisconsin. So, I'm sorry I'm being such a negative Nancy, but they can't do the job. I need to get an independent contractor who actually knows what they're doing, listens to the concerns, looks at the job site, and deals with the problems before them. That's not the city of Franklin. This is strike number 2. I love you all. Peace out.